how do we create this greater sense of belonging? We've got the distancing going. People aren't coming to the workplace. We don't see each other walking down the hallway by the water fountain. How do we create or maybe recreate this sense of belonging?
Yeah, belonging is an absolute key element. And we talk about this idea that once you get those basic things, those basic needs met, you can then level up to greater kind of functions and levels of need. And that middle level is what we call creating a sense of belonging. And so there's a couple of things there that I want to touch on. The first is flexibility, and the second is team building. And we'll talk about flexibility first. Now, I think that as we're working from home, and we might even have to stagger the times that people work within an office environment, I think this idea of flexibility is going to become greater and greater as we move forward. We're now understanding that work is no longer a physical place that you go. Work is merely something that you do. And so this is Best Buy a number of years ago. The team there at the corporate headquarters pioneered what they call a ROW. And ROW is a results-only work environment, meaning that we're not tracking time per se, we're just tracking the overall results and giving people the flexibility they need to complete their job in a manner that they see fit. And so I think as we go forward, especially for the younger generations, this has now become an expectation that they're going to have that flexibility and a reason why they may join a certain employer. And here's the thing, this is one of my favorite examples out of the 1,000 or so that we collected. This is a 2-person PR firm in New York City. And the one employee at the time was, her fiance was a New York City police officer. And when you're a police officer, you work 5 days on, 3 days off, 5 days on, 2 days off. So you can imagine that your work schedule gets kind of messed up over the course of time. It's nowhere near a Monday through Friday. Well, the owner of this company said to their lone employee, whenever your fiance is working, you work. Whenever your fiance is off, you're off. And if you can do flexibility in a 2-person organization, there's no excuse that others can't emulate that. Bo, you touched on this thing that team building is such an important thing. And now we're apart. We still have this need to feel like we're coming together as a team. And so I think it's going to be important of how can we come up with ways to, bring back that virtual water cooler of sorts? How do we replace some of those hallway conversations where we feel like we connect with the other team members? And so I've seen companies in this crisis, create virtual happy hours. I've seen, everyone brings almost like a potluck, eats together during lunch. We've got to find ways that we're not just in the meetings that we have, online meetings, but ways we can just bring people together so they feel like they can chat and catch up. I think that's absolutely key. I think the same thing as we go back into the post-COVID-19 workplace, we're going to need to find ways to reunite as well.